All right, guys, with that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Paris, what we got up next?
Well, as many of you know, Deadpool and Wolverine director Shawn Levy is developing a new Star Wars film to direct. And now, according to Deadline, we know who will be writing the new film. Creator and writer of the martial arts drama series Warrior, Jonathan Tropper, will be penning the new Star Wars script for Levy. Levy and Tropper have worked together before, and Tropper wrote Levy's recent film, The Atom Project, for him. So, John, what do you think of Jonathan Tropper writing the new Star Wars film for Shawn Levy?
Okay, so before I say what I think about him writing the script, let's get this out of the way. This probably won't happen.
Oh.
I mean, come on, we all know it. We all know it probably won't happen. They're probably not going to make this movie. That's what Star Wars does. They announce 18 movies and 17 and a half of them don't actually happen. So there's that. All right, so let's for a second, just for funsies, let's pretend for a minute that this is actually going to happen. I love it. I do. Not a lot happens these days in the world of Star Wars that gets me excited, but this would be awesome. First of all, just revisiting the idea that Shawn Levy, who I already really like as a director, a ton, and Deadpool and Wolverine looks like it's going to be the biggest movie of the year. Him doing a Star Wars film, great. You know what's very reminiscent of? When Taika Waititi was the hottest thing out there. So they announced Taika Waititi's doing a Star Wars film. Where's that? That never happened, did it? But okay, let's get back to this for a second. Getting a writer like Jonathan Tropper on this is great because, like Paris mentioned, he wrote Atom Project, which is a movie that was way better than I thought it could ever be. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that little film. I thought it was really nice, very good. And again, show that he and Shawn Levy can work really, really well together in making things. He also did that Apple TV Plus series C, which I have said on this show several times, the Jason Momoa series, that I'm not really a big fan of that show. But the problem with this show was never the writing. You know, the problem with C was never the writing. I've mentioned that many times. So that's pretty good. But what really gets me excited for this is that this is the guy who created and wrote Warrior. Warrior. For any of you who've not watched it, it's Game of Thrones, except take out dragons and put in the best martial arts action that has ever been in a television series. The characters are all great. You'd think with it, like, oh, well, how hard is it to do a martial arts show, right? Just have any nonsense going on and make sure you have some good martial arts.
Okay.
But they actually put great characters and great stories and great narrative through lines with A, B, C, and D level narratives that are running all at the same time, all the way through. It's an absolutely phenomenal show. And you tell me that the guy who created that is the guy who's going to write a new Star Wars movie directed by Shawn Levy? I mean, it's never going to happen. But if we're going to pretend like it is, that's fabulous. Come on. You can be the most jaded, Star Wars person in the world. But if you can pretend for a minute like this will actually happen, even you got to say this sounds pretty damn good. Now, for those of you wondering, like, I wonder what kind of thing they would go for. Well, if you guys remember a number of months ago, Shawn Levy said, they basically said, I can do whatever I want with this. Remember that this comes for us from Variety. When Kathy Kennedy brought me, this is Shawn Levy talking. When Kathy Kennedy brought me on board to make a Star Wars movie, her central mandate to me was, I want a Shawn Levy movie. I want a story and a tone that reflects you and your tastes and what you bring to your movies within a Star Wars story. So I have felt extremely empowered. We are in early days. Of course, remember, this is a number of months ago. We are in early days, unfortunately, because the development process was abruptly paused due to the WGA strike. But I feel very empowered to trust my instincts in development of this story and movie. So, in this imaginary world where announced Star Wars movies actually happen, the same world that Shrek lives in, I guess, this to me sounds phenomenal. Shawn Levy basically being handed the keys. And listen, now you might be saying stuff, John, but I remember you saying, like, in franchises, individual filmmakers shouldn't have too much control. True. But this is clearly not Star Wars Chapter 11 or Star Wars Chapter 12. This is going to be his own one-shot kind of movie that takes place in the Star Wars universe, a very large, vast place that for some reason Lucasfilm keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And so just to hand the keys over to Shawn Levy and say, make the movie you want to make, and then to bring in a writer like this, and I think most people agree writing is where a lot of the Star Wars shortcomings have been coming from lately. To me, this just sounds fabulous. So if in some imaginary world this actually comes to pass, I will be very excited. You'll just have to forgive me if I don't let myself get too excited on this, because I got so excited when they announced Kevin frickin' Feige is doing a Star Wars movie and he's bringing this writer. Woo! Never happened. Then they announced Taika Waititi himself, Oscar winner, gonna be making a Star Wars, and that never happened. You know, director of Wonder Woman coming, she's making a Rogue Squadron movie. Top Gun and Star Wars, never happened. I don't mean to be pessimistic and I don't mean to be cynical, but you will have to forgive me if I just rein in my enthusiasm and refuse to get too terribly excited about this, even though it's very exciting news.
It's a sick game at this point. I feel like it's a joke they're playing on us.
Yeah, it's kind of like
building us up to let us down.
How many? You know what it is? You know what the fucking is? It's that. It's that asshole. Who's the asshole in Peanuts? Lucy.
What'd you say?
It's like Lucy, who holds the football for Charlie Brown, and every time he goes to kick that ball, she pulls it away. That's what Lucasfilm is doing to us. Lucy is Lucasfilm, we are Charlie Brown, and they keep getting the shiny football. Look, Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, like, yeah, we run to kick it, and they pull it away. We land on our asses.
It's being announced a director of Star Wars becoming like the Madden cover effect. Like anyone who's
the
been
Madden cover curse.
Yeah, anyone who's been announced, even if they did or they didn't make a Star Wars film, their career goes downhill from there.
Look, we are now, we're 5 years and counting since the last Star Wars movie actually came out in theaters. So I don't know. Again, if it happens, great news. Just got to forgive me if I'm a little bit doubtful. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's episode, Manscaped. Sizzle alert, this summer, let the only thing that's smoking at your barbecue be the grill, not your grooming game. Get ready for the ultimate cookout season with Manscaped. Whether you're flipping burgers or cannonballing into the pool, make sure your meat looks neat with the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. Head to manscaped.com and use the code CAMPEA for 20% off and free shipping. Now, come on, guys, if you're like me, you used to do your grooming the old barbaric way. Using the clippers on your electric shaver? It never did a good job and always left me screaming out several profanities. So like me, you know that you need the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is perfect for achieving that crisp, clean, and confident look for your barbecues and beach days. The Weed Whacker 2.0, guys, keep your ears and nose as tidy as your hedges next door with our Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. And you get Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion, Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, and Boxers 2.0, the ultimate supplement to those hot summer days, equipped with the signature jewel pouch to protect your meatballs wherever the heat takes you. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code CAMPEA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use that code CAMPEA. Manscaped, the perfect way to get your patties sizzling hot this summer. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? The freaking guy who created and wrote Warrior doing a Star Wars movie is Shawn Levy, the director of Deadpool and Wolverine. Great, right? Do you actually think it'll happen this time? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.